while each early social enterprise comes with a mission, they also have a passion. And when an early stage incubator looks at onboarding social entrepreneurs, and when I say early stage, these are usually 0 to 5 years of their establishment. So we look at, we can say four eyes. The first eye being the individual. And under the individual, first thing we look at is why are they doing what they're doing? Where they come from, what's their experience, what's their driving their passion. So why is important for us to understand. The second thing in the individual part is the entrepreneurial ability. Uh, each individual has a lot of resources around them. Uh, have the ability to exhibit resourcefulness? Are they able to leverage on the resources that are around them? The third one is how committed are they to solve a problem uh, which they are identified and which they are looking at solving. How much time have they spent in identifying and understanding that? Because a lot of time we've seen uh, the entrepreneurs get stuck to the solution and not the problem, and they drift away. So the ability to stick onto the problem and commitment to solving that problem is important. And the fourth part on the individual is what's their intent? Do they come with a very strong social intent, or are they just hanging on an opportunity and looking at banking on that opportunity? So these are some things which become important when we look at as an individual. The second I is the idea. Now, how new is the idea? Is there an element of innovation, or is there an existing solution, but they've looked at improvising on it and making it more refined? Or are they, even if it's a new solution, or even if it's something not new, are they looking at replicating into a new geography to contextualize the expectation of that geography? So there is an element of newness to what they're offering. Second is, are they able to articulate their vision? When they're looking at a problem in 5 years to 10 years down the line, are they also able to visualize a world where the problem looks to be solved? While there's a sense on the long term, are they also able to have a sense on the short-term goals? Are they able to think on what's going to be happening in the 2 years time frame, 3 years time frame? So we try to identify their ability to comprehend the idea. The third I is the impact. So depending on the stage of the organizations from 0 to 5 years, they will have a different sense of their impact. At a very early stage, they may be having an understanding of what's my output. If I do this, there will be a certain output. As they move forward, these output will start to generate long-term outcomes. And further down the line, they will start to demonstrate the intended impact. So does the entrepreneur have a sense of that journey, sense of that direction of impact? They may not be able to articulate it, but at least they have a sense of where it is going to lead. So that's on the impact side. And the fourth part is on the incubation. Uh, when we come across entrepreneurs, they come from 18 to 65 years of age group. Each entrepreneur comes with a different background. Somebody could be a student, somebody could be an employee, somebody could be a consultant, somebody may have just walked out of a fellowship program. So they come with a different mindset. Now, the ability to step out of that mindset and be coachable is important for us, because uh, individuals have a huge tendency to come with a lot of baggage. So, how willing are they towards learning new skill, be incubated towards taking feedback? So, these are things where we look at uh, from the person, from the angle of being coachable, and as supporters, as incubators, we also look at, can we really add value to these people? There could be some serial entrepreneurs. They may have build a business and then they step into social entrepreneurship. So for us, they've already walked that journey. They understand that path. We may not be able to add a lot of value by engaging them for 1 year. So from the incubation angle, these are certain things that we look at uh, when we onboard a new entrepreneur. So typically, yes, these are the four eyes that we consider when we assess a potential entrepreneur. Well, the first and foremost thing before I share some tips is something that I learned recently, and more so, it's very relevant in the current times and context. Is as we are venturing into the journey of entrepreneurship, the expectation from us entrepreneurs is that we got to be strong. We're going to lead ourselves, lead organizations, and lead the industries. So I cannot commit a mistake. I have to be very strong. But it's okay to be vulnerable. And the first tip that I would share is have somebody that you can talk before even you start your journey, because it's going to have your ups and downs. And one of the most important things, especially people who have very limited access to resources, is do you have somebody to talk to? So there would be time when you would be feeling low, uh, or when you are actually feeling out. So have somebody whom you can talk and expose your vulnerable side. As far as tips are concerned, I think the first thing you could do is look at local mentors and advisors. Even though you may not be able to reach out to somebody far off, but there could be some people around you in your social circle who could be good potential mentors, or who could also be good advisors to your company in the short run. Uh, Second tip I would say is there are a lot of online resources available in terms of learning modules, in terms of courses, and one could pick up these courses which are freely available. Uh, Websites like Coursera. There was a time when I used to access Coursera for a lot of learning. They have good modules around theory of change, how do you build your social impact, a bunch of stuff. So you could access those resources. A lot of incubators these days have started making tools and videos available online. So you could access these resources online, where they teach you the finer nuances of entrepreneurship, and also provide you a lot of tools in terms of your various business aspects like budgets, or business modeling, or how do you look at building a good HR systems, or standard formats around your pitch decks. So there are a lot of free tools available on some of the incubators' websites, which you can access to. While these are things you could access remotely, on the other side, also be watchful that with changing times, a lot of incubators are opening up to reaching out to tier 2, tier 3 cities. And as I say, I could talk about our example itself. Till a year back, we were very geographically limited in terms of Maharashtra and Delhi. But with technology coming in, last two cohorts onwards, we've been receiving applications pan India, and including some remote places in Northeast, Bihar, Jharkhand, down south, uh, up from Jammu and Kashmir. So we've been receiving applications all across, and I feel that uh, more and more entrepreneurs will have access to these incubators, and the incubators are also opening up to remote geographies. And another interesting aspect is the CSR and the funding fraternity are also uh, giving a lot of stress and focus on outreach to these remote locations. I feel the situation is opening up, but you could still look at these tools that are available while you're waiting for your great opportunity.